A friend and former neighbor of one of the San Bernardino shooters is facing criminal charges. Law enforcement officials say Enrique Marquez is charged with materialism to terrorism. He allegedly bought two rifles that Saeed Farouk and his wife used in this month's shooting, which left 14 people dead. U.S. officials say Marquez told investigators he didn't know about the plans for the attack, but officials say he did admit buying the rifles for Farouk and that he and Farouk actually considered but failed to carry out an attack in 2012. Officials say Marquez has been cooperating with investigators.
Today, President Obama said Americans should feel safe despite growing concerns about terror. The president visited the National Counterterrorism Center near Washington, D.C. As many people prepare to spend the holidays with family, the president says we have dedicated patriots working around the clock to keep us safe. KGUN-9 on your side's Whitney Clark sat down with an FBI agent in Tucson to find out what's done to protect southern Arizona.
Today, President Obama told Americans that we've entered a new phase of terrorism.
Because they are smaller, often self-initiating, self-motivating, they're harder to detect. And that makes it harder to prevent.
How does law enforcement detect and prevent terror attacks like the San Bernardino shooting? The FBI says they can't do it alone.
The public has more eyes out there than we do. We can't do that ourselves. That requires a good, tight, joint operating relationship with the community.
Several neighbors of the suspected shooter say they noticed suspicious behavior before last month's attacks. Lots of work late at night in the garage and many packages delivered to the home. That was never reported to police. Federal law enforcement agents say any and all tips help. So what should people watch out for? There's an FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force located right here in Tucson, where we sat down with Agent Brian Turner, who says there are no set patterns that define homegrown violent extremists, or HVEs.
The profile of an HVE is diverse as anything else. It could be both genders, it could be any ethnicity, various ages, anything.
You can watch out for suspicious behaviors. If someone is acting differently, makes plans to travel to a country where terror organizations flourish, like Syria or Iraq, if they've espoused support for recent attacks of violent terror attacks, or a secretive use of the internet or social media.
There may be some things that some people may dismiss away as being nothing, but if you believe it to be suspicious and you report it to law enforcement, particularly the FBI, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, we will look into it.
Whitney Clark, KGUN-9, on your side.
Agents that 9 on your side spoke to say there aren't really any dangers of over-reporting. All tips are followed up in a discreet manner. The task force will decide whether to pursue more detailed investigation or file it away for later reference. You can report to the FBI at the tip line number on your screen. All of the information is also on KGUN9.com.